Hello again and welcome back. I think this is part 14. And the last one we added the treasure chest and getting them to open. And before we start making them give a player items, let's create our little menu so we can actually check what items we have. So I'm going to go in my HUD elements folder and I'm going to right click and create a widget blueprint. I'm going to call the first one, let's see, I'm going to just call it menu. So I will open that up, and for the first one I'm going to make it an inventory type screen. That way we can start adding gold or items. I'm going to drag out an image, scale it up to about somewhere, like drag over the anchor. You can actually customize it. It doesn't have to go based off that. You can do this. And actually fully select where you want the thing to be anchored to, like that. That's how I'm going to do it. Oh, before I get too far, right click canvas panel, wrap with scale box, and one more time, wrap with size box. Select the size box, width override, height override, 1920 by 1080. That way no matter who plays your game, it'll fit on their screen. So I'm going to click my image again. I'm going to name it backdrop. Another color and opacity. I'm going to drop it to black, and I'm going to set the opacity to 0.75, 0.75, 0.5, 0.75. I like 0.75 personally. Drag it back over this a little bit, just because we're going to need buttons going down the side. And this first one will be, this is our main menu, so actually we'll make this one the status menu, that way they open it up and it just goes straight to the status menu, and then they can select other ones down this side. So I'm going to drag out a text block, and I'm going to call it name. Size it to content. Font will be 35. Seems about right. And italic, maybe 30. 30 for now. Right click, duplicate. Drag it over. Say level. I'm not adjusting the anchor yet, but that's just so that they all share the same anchor. We can go up to the offsets or position and make sure that they're all at the same position. So that's 1036, 1036, and that way we make sure that they're all lined up. See? So name, level, duplicate, 1036. Level, let's see, experience, and now let's do HP, duplicate, MP, duplicate, strength, right click, duplicate, drag it over, defense, let's see, our character has strength, defense. Let's open her up and just kind of look at all the stats we gave her. HP, MP, XP, I guess that'll be good for now. So we'll duplicate one more time. Call this experience, duplicate, and say till next level, or just next level. Could actually be a little bit bigger, but instead of that, I'll just drag this up a little bit. If you want to make it bigger, increase the font and all that, so if you want to. So in our graph, on construct, we'll cast to player, get character, drag off, promotes variable, player ref. Okay. Now we'll drag out another text block. No, we won't. I'll just duplicate that one, unsize it to content, and in our player BP, we will add a variable called player name. Make it a text. Drag it up to our player stats area. I'm gonna set my character's name as Kyrina, just because it's what I like to use in like MMOs or World of Warcraft, etc. For our name, I'm gonna bind that. Get player ref, get player name. And that way, if you want to, you can have an option in to where you set your character's name to something different, or you can just default your character's name to something different, whatever you like. Then I will duplicate, drag over. Now we'll bind this one to drag out our player ref, get, oh no, just get level. And then hook that up like that. Oh. Back in our designer, we'll duplicate, drag it down. Let's set that to 2 zeros so I can kind of gauge it better. This will be our max HP. And max MP, we won't worry about the other because we can monitor that from the main HUD. Drag out our player, get max health, plug it in, duplicate, drag over, 1208, so 1208. Make sure they're lined up, just because things being in line is pretty. Max mana, drag that, yep, compile, and duplicate. It doesn't look like it's making sense so far for the name to be named, the level to be named, and all that, but this will shift based off of all the variables attached to our player. So and we want to duplicate, and on the text, bind it to drag out our player ref. Oops. Get base strength. Hook that up. And duplicate again. Drag it over. Find out what this one was. 1236. I'm actually gonna make you come over to the new one. Create binding. Drag over. Get player F. Drag off. Get defense. Did we not set up a defense yet? Base strength and sword. Oh, we didn't set one. Alright, so duplicate the base strength and call it defense. And drag off and do get defense, and then there's that. Back to the designer, duplicate, drag that experience boy out, bind, create binding, drag out our player ref, get XP, get current XP, make sure it's the current, compile, duplicate one more time, drag it over, line it up with that one, 560 and 632. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong number. 1276, they are in line. Create binding. One more time, drag player out. Next level. Boom. Alright. So now these should all be lined up. Okay. And just to go ahead and test our treasure chest, make sure they're interacting with our character. Right, let's go ahead and give our character a gold meter. We'll make that an integer, drag it up to our player stats. Default should be 0 in the menu. I'll do duplicate one of these one more time, call it gold. Make sure it's lined up with the others at 1036. Duplicate one more of these, drop it way over to the right. I'll align it right. You can set the justification to align right so that it will fill out this way. I'm going to bind, grab the player ref, get, drag off, type in gold, get gold, plug it in. Okay, now we need to give our character the ability to open the menu. So in our project settings, under inputs, action mappings, add a new one called menu. And from that, I'm going to put it as the M key on the keyboard. Just because menu M, you know. So now in our character's event graph, wait, save all. Because it's so important, it really is. Right click, and we're going to type in menu so we can get that action event. We're going to B left click for a branch, drag off, promote to a variable of can open menu. Which we will default to true. Yes, okay, cool. Can open menu. If they can, then we want to create widget. Actually, drag that off a little bit because we want to add in an is valid node. Because we want to find out if this has already been created. Because when you remove it from the viewport, it doesn't necessarily destroy the widget, it just kind of hides it. So if it has been created, we don't want to create multiple and lay them on top of each other because that can eventually cause performance issues. So if it is not valid, then we want to create our menu widget and give it to our player controller off of the owning player. Return value will promote that to a variable called menu screen. And then we will add to viewport, and off of is valid, then we will just come all the way over here and add that to viewport, because if it is valid, then it'll already have done this part. We don't need to make it multiple do that. So we'll drag off the menu screen that we just promoted, set that to input object that we want to check to find out if it exists. Okay, and after all that, we want to, off of our player controller, drag off the player controller and say set input mode game and UI. Drag off the add viewport and set that like that, and in the widget to focus, I'm just going to drag off the menu screen one more time so I can have it close. I try not to have wires going too far Sometimes it's almost unavoidable. Some of these are nasty. We'll go back over those later though. Clean them up, make them optimized. We want to set input mode to game and UI, and we also want to set show. That's alright. We want to unclick context sensitive and get the set show mouse cursor. And hook that up like that, and off the target, set context sensitive again, and get player controller. We'll drop that underneath there. And there we go. We'll create one more Boolean duplicate and just call it menu opened. Set menu open. And we'll drag all these back. Do another branch. Menu open. If menu is not open, then we want to run that we just made. If it is, then we want to drag off our menu screen and hit remove from parent. Get player controller. Set input mode to game only. And set show mouse cursor to false. Okay. Now let's test that out real quick. Access none, trying to read. Remove from parent. Why did can open menu open? Oh, because it defaulted to true. That's right, we duplicated the can open menu, which just defaulted to true. So it automatically was defaulted to true. But we want that defaulted to false. Otherwise it won't work quite right. And now there we go, we can check all our stats. See it automatically update to my name, my level. Boom, boom, boom. And then we press it again and it can close it out. So that's working. That's working one time. I don't know why it's not. Let's check one more time. Menu open, false. Oh, okay. At the end of it, we want to set menu open to false again, so that it runs the other side of it. So let's try one more time. Menu open, menu close, menu open, menu close. Word, that works. Alright, so now we can go into our treasure chest, edit treasure chest with the right click, and off of our event interact. From finished, we want to drag off our player reference, get gold. Drag off one more time and do a set gold. And let's drag this all back a little bit. I can actually drag that up like that, make it a little bit prettier. Get it all a little bit closer, I guess. Not really prettier, I guess. But we'll do off of the get gold, we'll do a plus integer. And we'll drag off that and call it gold to give. I like to capitalize each individual word. I don't know why. It's just something I do. So off finished, we wanted to give our character some gold. Let's default that to something. I'm gonna say 100 for one of them. You can actually create that as like you can click that little eyeball right there, and then each one can have its own little gold to give amount. So I can set this one to 25. See, this one's still 100, that one's 25, and that one's just $1 because he's got $1 for you. Alright, and now let's check it out. Wait, did I set that? Yeah, get gold. Okay, alright, I just want to make sure. Alright, so right now, no gold. 100 gold. 125 gold. And 126 gold. So, yeah, we'll be customizing these further to where you can add whether or not they'll give you a potion, or if these are given gold, that makes sense for them to be empty. Let's add something to that real quick. Let's go back to the ancient treasures, the meshes, and does any of this look like it would? Coin material, let's see. Let's drag it out and take a look at it real quick. Yeah, that would work, I think. So I'm gonna click this material. Oh, coin material 01C, go in the treasure chest. Viewport, add static mesh of that. I'm gonna hide you for a second. And we'll drag that up. And just kind of shape it to chest. Oh, okay, you can click this and it'll make it to where you can scale it a lot better. So there's that. But wait. Let's drag it down a little bit. Give it some depth. And also, this, we want it to cover. If I don't have that down, then it's like, why is the gold coming through the top? But that looks good. So compile, out here, save all, save, play. Now let's take a look. Oh, to full screen it, you can hit F11 and it'll full screen like this. So, yeah. So now they actually look like treasure chests. And they are doing what we want them to, and we can check our stats now. Let's do one more thing. Where's our enemy? Enemy knight. Come on, boy. Control point. And let's just make sure our level system is actually updating with our... Whoa. Okay, level 3. None of this is updating yet, but maybe we'll go over that in the next one, getting our character to actually level up and making our stats adjust. So we'll do that next, in the next video, because I'm worried this one's probably going on too long now. 23 minutes. Ugh, okay. I'm trying to keep these short. I'm sorry. Alright, well, I will see y'all in the next one.